Alright, so we're back. Hopefully not just, back, but also back in the win column tonight. So it's a Cascadia Cup matchup against Portland. I already played them earlier this season. It was a very successful day. If you didn't check out that video that I posted about it, please do, because I enjoyed it. Enjoyed the time there for sure. And of course, the result came with it as well. So Portland definitely has something to prove. They've had a rather up and down season. I think their last match was against Houston. It was a crazy match that they conceded a last minute winner. So they definitely got some stuff to prove for this season, and of course the Whitecaps have the same after being eliminated in the Champions Cup and then losing on the previous weekend to San Jose here. International break, hopefully it's a nice refresher. And unfortunately though, Ralph Priso actually picked up an injury on international duty with Canada, and he'll be out for a while. So I don't know who's going to take his spot. Probably it could either be Laborda starting as a center back, or even maybe John Lau getting his first maiden start. But the most important thing tonight, though, is that the roof is open. Yeah. Okay. I'm just kidding. Anyways, hopefully tonight will be a good one. So, see you then.
Oh, here we go, here we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Here we go, here we go. All the things you do to me and all the things you say, I just can't get enough. I just can't get enough. In the south side, I'm falling in love, and I just can't seem to get enough of your We'll follow, cause we support the Whitecaps, the Whitecaps, the Whitecaps, and that's the way we like it, we like it, we like it. Oh, 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 Vancouver Whitecaps, who are we? Vancouver Whitecaps, we're Vancouver Whitecaps. Oh, when the Caps go marching in, Caps go marching in. I want to be in the south side. Oh, when the Caps go marching in. Sha la 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 la. Oh, Vancouver. Let's go Whitecaps!
Alright, so here's the lineup changes. Jivan Badwal returns to the starting lineup. He actually starts alongside Berhalter in midfield. Matias Laborda plays in the center defense and plays the injured Ralph Priso. Chick Sabali gets his second consecutive start. Thomas Müller comes back in to the side in his usual position. Emmanuel Zabi drops on the bench. And those are the changes. Oh, and Tate Johnson actually returns to the starting lineup in place of Garasi Menkov.
7, check. Defensive midfielder, number 16, Sebastian Berhalter. Right wing back, number 18, Édier Ocampo. That midfielder, 22, in its tracker, number 24, Brian. At left wing back, number 28, Tate Johnson. And at center back, number 33, Tristan Blackburn. Defensive midfielder, number 59, Steven Hudball. Attacking midfielder, your captain, number 13, Thomas Müller. And tonight, your kid captain, number 74, Herman. Scored in the 7th minute by number 18, Édier Ocampo. Édier Ocampo. Édier Ocampo. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Portland goal scored at time number 10, David Costa. That's your score at halftime. Vancouver Whitecaps FC 1, Portland Killers 2.
I don't really know. So probably should have scored a few more goals the first, I think, 20-25 minutes when Portland were hardly able to keep the ball. And there were multiple times getting into the Portland's penalty area, but that didn't happen. Portland, towards the end of the half, had a good spell, and they took advantage where the Whitecaps couldn't do that before that. So the way in which that happened kind of went pretty annoying, to say the least. The goal from Mosquera was a nice goal, to be fair. It was another, last year Müller scored a volley here, and then I guess Mosquera did the same thing. It wasn't necessarily a carbon blocker, I think, but still a nice strike. But then once again conceding at the end of the half, again, not fun. Still, matches in balance, but just the way that, just like last time, conceding at the end of the half is not a great feeling. I think mainly what's changed, though, is that Portland have been able to bypass the midfield. They've managed to bypass more as the half went on, and that's really given them some really good threats, especially down the right side.
Let's show them how it's done. Boundary roll! Take me home!
In the game for the Champions Entering the game, making his Whitecaps FC debut, number 14,
Super fire.
Vancouver Whitecaps go! His third of the season, scored in the 91st minute by number 13, Thomas! Thank you. Fourth official on the sideline is indicated a minimum of 5 minutes of time in the second half.
One more goal. dancing for victory.
Number 16, Sebastian! 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 Thank you!
What a goal from field level!
BC Place, Caps fans, final score of the match. Your Vancouver Whitecaps FC 3, Portland Timbers 2.
And the moon is the only light we'll see.
that was, and what a win. I think that goes without saying. So yeah, and the first early goal from Ocampo, it was pretty reminiscent of Sabi's goal against LAFC in the playoffs. Long ball by Takaoka over the top. Really caused some confusion between Bonitig, who was the player that where the ball got past him, and then I think Pantomis came out. But I think he realized that once he realized that he made a mistake, well, it was too late at that point because he had already committed. Takaoka actually hit it with quite a lot of backspin, and potentially that might have slowed the ball down quite a bit. That completely fooled Pantomis, and then Ocampo with the finish. Balls like that over the top for defenders are scary because as a defender, if you're facing your own goal, you have very limited vision of what you can see behind you, and that certainly was a factor in that one. Just continued to get into good positions after that too, with the wingers AZ and Sabali, but couldn't quite take advantage. Perhaps maybe some moments where it might have been a better decision to shoot, but tried to look for an extra pass instead. That was maybe potentially one of the reasons why the score wasn't bigger after the first half hour or so, really. But then, Portland in the last 10 minutes of the first half, maybe slightly before that, but they started to get going. They were able to bypass the midfield with really just a couple of passes and work the ball down the wings. And then, kind of crazy how up until that point, every single goal conceded was from outside the area, not counting Kickoff Champions League. But then, it was a great strike from Mosquera off a half-cleared cross. I mean, to be honest, it almost felt like I knew he was going to actually score, considering he had enough time to set himself and pick his spot. It was a great strike, to be fair. I actually had a great angle of it, and it was a nice goal. But yeah, that's 3 out of 3 goals scored from outside the penalty area this season against us. And then at the end of the half, Da Costa, he's actually played in by Mosquera, and it was a great finish from him too. And after, it was basically the last kick of the half. It wasn't actually quite the last kick of the half, but it may as well have been. And at that point, I think me and probably some others are thinking, oh no, here we go again. Throwback to San Jose when they scored right at the end of the half, and then they were able to hold on to the second half and get the 3 points. So that thought certainly crept in. I definitely have to admit that. Now in the second half, Portland, or at least I don't know if, I guess Phil Neville decided that it was in his best interest or his team's best interest to sit back as much as possible and soak up pressure, and hope that they'll get a chance off the counter or something to seal the match, I guess. They didn't really have any chances in particular that I can remember. Maybe one free kick that was near the corner of the penalty area that barely even cleared the first player. But yeah, the pressure was constant in the second half, although I will say that Portland defended well for most of it. They bent, but they didn't break. A lot of crosses from both sides of the pitch, from like Berhalter, Ocampo, Tate Johnson, and Bruno Caicedo. Actually, shout outs to Bruno Caicedo. He was very good when he came in. His debut too. He was getting behind quite a lot, and if it wasn't for Finn Sermon, I think he was the one that was in charge to stop a lot of the crosses from coming in. I think he did really well on the defensive side of things. But then, late on, handball by Anthony, conceding the penalty. You could say from the perspective of Portland or Anthony that it was unfortunate. It was a pretty powerful shot from Ocampo that was definitely not going anywhere close to the goal. But Once that decision is made, it's not going to get overturned anyway. And I actually closed my eyes on the penalty. I actually did this when Laborda had his penalty, the winning penalty against LAFC. And at that point, a point would have been okay. It wouldn't have been ideal. It would still more have been 2 points lost than a point won or anything. But hey, something's better than nothing until, the end. And it was Berhalter that actually made the tackle that started the play off. And he was the one that finished the play, too, off the deflected shot from Sabi. Crazy ending. And, alright, so it's the next day. Still thinking about that crazy ending to the match. And, having a nice Easter weekend after such a dramatic victory. So at the end of in the last play of the match, really, well, last couple of plays, I guess, Berhalter made an important tackle on Felipe Mora as Portland were countering and potentially could have scored the winner on that, but, Berhalter was not letting that happen. In the reverse fixture, he made a last-minute tackle at the end of the match against Christopher Velde, and the result was already more or less sealed by then, but he's the kind of player that he's going to keep going until the final whistle, no matter what. Doesn't matter whether it's a one-sided match or it's a close match, whatever have you. And that's the sort of mentality that, as a teammate, as a coach, as whoever, that's someone you want, 100%. And then, even better that he was able to finish off the match himself as well. In some ways, too, a lot of that wouldn't have been possible, or it would have been a lot more difficult without Bruno Caicedo offering a completely different dimension to the attack as well. Not afraid to run beyond his man. It was actually Fai who came on for Mosquera at halftime. Bruno Caicedo was not afraid to go towards the goal, and that started to pin Portland closer and closer to their goal, and eventually things worked out in the end. Alright, so there are 3 more home matches before the long away stretch into the World Cup. Next weekend, New York City comes here, and they've had a pretty good season so far. They're on 11 points right now, so should be a good test, 100%. But yeah, that's all I've got for today. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this. I appreciate it in advance. And I will see you at the next match. Have a good rest of your weekend. Bye.